Ahead on NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
On this week's special edition of NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman, a look at a day in the life stories from across the country.
And now, a special edition of NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman with host Kevin Oxner.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman. I'm Kevin Oxner. Thanks for joining us. Each week we have the opportunity to visit farms and ranches all over the country. In this week's episode, we're revisiting some of our favorite day in the life stories. Let's take a look. This upcoming generation of cattlemen faces some unique challenges. Along with adapting to a changing industry and marketplace, they need to stay informed about a variety of issues and be media savvy to boot. Cattleman to Cattleman's Sharon Alseth introduces us to one Oklahoma rancher who's tackling the challenge head on.
There's nothing more enjoyable to me than coming out here in the morning and checking the cows and feeding or working in the office, wherever I might be. I get to enjoy and do what I like to do every day.
Clay Bertram is constantly on the move. When he's not at his agricultural accounting company, Clay is probably working from his pickup. He's also co-owner and partner with his dad of a cow-calf operation.
We formed the partnership back when I moved back home about 11 years ago. But this operation is unique up here that we use a rotational grazing operation that allows us to run more cattle per acre and utilize the ground better for our grazing.
Clay enjoys the flexibility of his workday, checking cattle and working with his clients.
I don't have to be at the office with my mobile phone or whatever I might need. I'm a mobile office. I might be working on crop insurance at one point for Farm Bureau, or I might be setting up an appraisal to do next week, or I'm buying cattle left and right, to contract for future needs. So servicing those needs of our customers, but yet while I'm enjoying what I do out here on the farm.
Clay entered the industry right out of college, working first in a feed yard mill and eventually becoming cattle manager. He says remaining adaptable is a key to staying successful.
3 years ago, this whole operation was a stocker cattle operation. We ran yearling steers here from May to October, but 3 years ago we changed that operation to a cow-calf. We saw the industry changing, we saw the herd size declining, and we were better able to utilize the forage we had here with cow-calf pairs than we were with stocker cattle. But being adaptable to change, not just set in one way. If stocker cattle will make more money and work next year, then we'll go back to stocker cattle.
And Clay shares that lesson with the college interns that work in his office and in the field.
But the one rule I have is you have to be in school. I could use a full-time hand on this operation, but I can utilize 4 to 5 younger guys and help teach them something about beef quality assurance, beef safety, how my operation works, and better readily make them available for the work field when they graduate. And the experience that we provide to them here should make them available. They've had experience and can use it.
Clay is a member of the Oklahoma Cattlemen's Association and a former district director. He's a passionate believer that people should become involved with industry organizations, including the National Cattlemen's Beef Association.
Get involved in the county cattlemen's associations, then get involved in the state organizations, and then move all the way up to the national. And part of that is because you need to be involved. You need to know what's going on out there. You need to know what the changes are, what's being heard, and you might actually learn something from either a younger or older producer. It's very important to be an NCBA member. I've been a member for 10 years. It's important to carry that message to the producers across the nation as well as to Capitol Hill.
He says the industry's growing ability to shape its message and improve its communication skills, emphasizing programs like NCBA's Beef Quality Assurance, is making a difference in shaping opinion.
10, 15 years ago when I was at the feedlot, we focused on, beef quality assurance and the training there on the feedlot. But more and more we're seeing it brought out here to the local producers, and that's one thing we do with our summer interns. They're beef quality assurance trained. We take them to producer education meetings so that they kind of know what's going on out there in the future.
Clay thinks the industry's mission should be to get everyone in cattle production involved and to keep the industry viable in spite of changing economies and markets.
Don't just think of a break even, think of a break profit. What's going to make you money? Because that's the name of this business, is making money so that you can stay in business and pass this on to the next generation. I've got 3 daughters who someday want to work in this industry, be a part of this organization. It's a legacy that we have to be able to pass on to the younger generation for the future of this cattle industry.
Reporting from Stillwater, Oklahoma, I'm Sharon Alseth for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
Clay Bertram is a member of NCBA. Join him and thousands just like him. Call 1-866-USA-BEEF or visit us online at beefusa.org. Cattlemen and women are always looking for ways to separate themselves from the competition. And the CSR Pole Hereford Farms in Nashville, Georgia, has found a unique way to do just that. Cattleman to Cattleman reporter Matt Fleck shows us how Steve and Elaine Roberts believe their passion for raising quality beef keeps customers coming back for more.
It's peaceful, quiet. To me, it's the next thing to being to heaven.
Farming and raising cattle have been in Steve Roberts' bloodline for generations.
My grandfather bought this farm back in the 20s. After my grandfather passed away, they put the farm up for sale, and I was fortunate enough to get to purchase it. Basically, it's a home farm for years and years and years.
Steve Roberts' love of the cattle industry also influenced his decision to run for political office. Following in his father's footsteps as the county commissioner, Steve has been fighting to keep his county and the cattle industry moving in the right direction.
On my own personal 3rd term now, so at the end of this term, my family will have 34 years in government. Don't know what I'm going to do coming up, but in the next race. But I enjoy being commissioner. I enjoy working with people. I enjoy solving people's problems. I reckon I'm more at peace when I'm dealing with people.
In addition to his political endeavors, Steve recently began crossbreeding Hereford and Angus cattle.
About 5-6 years ago, I started doing some crossing to get the Baldies. And the Baldies are a very, very good commercial cow. You can cross them on almost anything and get a calf. And they'll grow out, yield and everything, and the buyers want them.
As their operation continued to grow, Steve and his wife Elaine saw the opportunity to expand their business to include a meat store and restaurant called Roberts Taste of the Farm.
They started a couple of years ago. We started talking about it, and I had some people coming and buying some meat from me.
Like any successful entrepreneurs, the Roberts set out to meet a demand in the market for quality beef. Their store in Nashville, Georgia, features the best cuts of beef straight off of their ranch just 21 miles away.
I can monitor how my steaks look, how much more grain I need to feed these steers I'm feeding them, how much marbling I have, how much fat I have. I can monitor my own calves and know what I'm doing. If it's a bad piece of meat, I don't sell it. I don't put it out there. I don't doctor it up.
Not only can his customers buy the best cuts of beef, they can even enjoy the convenience of a drive-through and dining area.
The people buying they just want a good piece of meat. It's certified Hereford or certified Angus is what I'm selling.
Steve believes that his customers keep coming back for more beef because of his eye for quality.
People want to know this day and time what they're eating. They've got a choice. They don't have to buy it all from me, and they can go to other stores, but you really don't know where it's coming from. You don't really know what you're eating. They've got a choice now. They can go there. They know this beef's come from, some of them 3 miles from their house. They know how it's fed. They can ride by and see them being fed. And they really know what's going on with it. And they like that.
The Roberts keep a busy lifestyle, but they believe it's a lifestyle that benefits the entire community.
I like to just keep handing it down in the family for years. I stepped in from my father, and he stepped in from his daddy, and I like to keep going with it, but farming now is pretty tough. There's a lot of farms going out of business. It's very hard work, long hours. You've got to love it to stay with it.
Reporting from the CSR Pole Hereford Farm in southern Georgia, I'm Matt Fleck for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
Join Steve and Elaine Roberts as an NCBA member. Visit us online at beefusa.org or give us a call at 1-866-USA-BEEF. And don't forget to like our page on Facebook. We'll be right back.
Grow more low-cost forage and improve grazing access by clearing out weeds and brush with these Dow AgroSciences herbicides. See your Dow AgroSciences representative or visit rangeandpasture.com.
Wanting to cut cost as well as hay? You don't have to look any further than your John Deere dealer. Pile up big bonus cash or special financing on our high-quality lineup of hay tools from mower conditioners to balers. Or if you have a utility tractor in mind, take advantage of some of the best deals ever on the rugged 5 Series and 6 Series. Make tracks for your John Deere dealer now and bag big savings.
Preventing cattle pink eye is as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1. Vaccinate your animals with Piligard Pink Eye TriView to provide pink eye fighting antibodies in the tears that bathe the eye. Broad spectrum protection that cross-reacts with 103 different strains of pink eye causing bacteria. 2. Stop the flies that spread pink eye bacteria throughout the herd. Apply double barrel VP ear tags and Ultra Boss Poron for up to 5 months of face fly and horn fly control. 3. Manage the environment to reduce damage to the animal's eye from seed heads, pollen, and UV light, irritants that increase the risk of pink eye infection. With the right tools, preventing pink eye is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
It's the official monthly publication of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. The National Cattleman is produced exclusively for NCBA members and includes coverage of the news and events affecting our industry. From Capitol Hill to the far side of cattle country, the National Cattleman provides information NCBA members need. Every issue includes market analysis, feature stories, and practical management tips. Start receiving your copy of The National Cattleman. Call 866-USA-BEEF or go online to beefusa.org and join today.
Welcome back. Sometimes the only constant in the cattle industry seems to be change, and that includes the definition of a family operation. That can be good news, especially when family members bring in new skills and perspectives. Cattleman to Cattleman reporter Brad Bulla has more from North Dakota.
I really enjoy working with my dad. It's a third-generation farm. My grandpa started the farm that we're at, and so he got to work with my grandpa, and now I'm getting to work with him. So it's fun to continue the generations down.
Erica's dad, Roger, began raising cattle and selling bulls in the mid-1970s.
We started with purebred Simmental, and as time went on, you know, we started with the full bloods and then pulled full bloods, and then we realized that we needed to be more mainstreamed in as far as size and other different characteristics. So we started using solid red bulls and also incorporated Black Angus in the programs.
Now as time progresses, there's more diversification in the seed stock operation. We're using more Angus integrated into our Simmental, running the Sim Angus. It's gotten to be a very big part of our operation. The cross is just exceptional. I mean, it makes tremendous females, and the carcass merit is just phenomenal also. So I mean, that's probably the most unique part of this operation.
North Dakota has a reputation for hardy, winter-resistant cattle, but Erica says her state is getting known for its progressive cattlemen and women, especially when it comes to their focus on genetics.
Genetic improvement is what we really try to focus on all the time, and which I guess we've noticed with our cattle throughout the last few years here. The second and third calf heifers that we've got, they the bulls that out of them are really performing well. So we've really strived to produce better every year, and that not only helps us, but it helps our customers for them to move forward. They can come to us every year knowing that we're going to have better animals every year.
The northern climate is, does very well for producing cattle with the cool season, summer grass, and usually plenty of rainfall. And the commercial cattlemen, I really have to pay tribute to them because they are also at the forefront of their operations. They're striving to always, bring in top quality calves and push the weaning weights, and they have been. They're just some of the best feeder cattle in the nation are coming from up in the northern plains.
Erica returned to her family's ranch after working in Montana and elsewhere as a professional livestock photographer. And that work, she says, has given her a unique perspective on cattle.
It's gotten me onto a lot of ranches that I wouldn't have maybe gone to before. I love looking at cattle, so really being in the pen with the bulls and with females, whatever I'm taking, you really get to spend a lot more time with those animals and really study them while you're taking the pictures as well. So you're really able to analyze each animal a lot faster by seeing more and more cattle. And I think a lot of us, we get busy with our own operations and we don't get off the ranch and go see other people's operations enough. We try to do it as much as we can, but still there's not a lot of time. So by going into being hired to come to these places, I was able to see a lot of cattle.
Getting to look at a wide variety of cattle has added to Erica's high expectation for her own animals. Her training in photography and other media has also helped greatly with the ranch's marketing efforts.
She's been an excellent addition to have back around here and helping with things and running, the cattle operation, because she's very good in the marketing, computer skills, second to none. That helps dramatically. I mean, it's when she comes with sheets of computer printouts and things like that. It's so important to get the point across to your customer, and that's the most valuable tool we have right now is through communication, and that's where she really shines.
Plus, she's out riding pastures every day and checking cattle, and I don't know how she gets it all done, but she's everywhere.
Those marketing skills are also coming to play on the internet, where the Kinners list information about their bulls.
We do an online sale during our bull sale, and we always like to have everyone come to the sale. We enjoy interacting with them and getting to know them. But we have our sale in February in North Dakota, and there can be a lot of bad weather days. So if people are stuck at home in a snowstorm and they still want to be a part of the sale, they can get online, and a lot of them have really appreciated that because they can't leave their cows, but they need a bull and they want to be there. They can get online, and it's not perfect when you're dealing with wireless internets and weather and satellite internets and those kinds of things. It's not perfect, but it is an alternative.
Erica is a member of several industry associations, and she believes cattlemen and women need to speak with a unified voice through state and national organizations.
The North Dakota Stockmen's Association is very good because they're out there lobbying for our needs with our state legislature and really making sure that us as ranchers are being taken care of in the state and looking out for the good of us. NCBA is important as well because similarly because of the same reason as the North Dakota Stockmen's Association. NCBA is very important because they are out there fighting for the ranchers' needs. Their work in Washington is very beneficial to everybody across the nation. They're really watching out for the betterment of our operations and to make sure that the right policies are being put in place for our benefit.
For his part, Roger says the industry needs to stay focused despite the near constant ups and downs, and to keep thinking ahead.
That's been a big challenge, is probably to find the right herd bulls for the next generation. And you can look at all the data and do all the planning you want to, but you buy the bulls and use them, and they still have to work out. And some work out very well, and some don't. And sometimes you end up spending a lot of money on big herd bulls or a donor cow, and they simply don't work. And other ones just tremendous. So I guess that's been a big challenge, is to stay on track and find the right kind of a program that would fit your customers' needs.
Reporting from Leeds, North Dakota, I'm Brad Bullough for NCBA's Cattlemen to Cattlemen.
The Kinners are members of NCBA, and you can join too. Just call 1-866-USA-BEEF or visit us online at beefusa.org. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
These days, more cattlemen choose Draxxin to fight BRD than any other brand. Here's why.
It works. We have fewer repulls, and the ones that we do repull respond, and we have fewer chronics in the end.
To retreat anything it's a lot more expensive than using Draxxin as a first time.
And the evidence backs up what most cattlemen already know. Draxxin cuts retreats by 50%. So talk to your veterinarian and check the online calculator at Draxxin.com. You'll see why Draxxin should be your first choice to fight BRD.
Basically what it's allowed us to do with our operation is run more cattle through in a given period of time. It's just really been a good product to use.
Do not use in female dairy cattle 20 months of age or older. Do not use in calves to be processed for veal. Draxxin has a pre-slaughter withdrawal time of 18 days. Please visit Draxxin.com or call 1-888-DRAXXIN for more information.
Assuring beef quality begins with dedicated people such as Phoebe Bittler, a dairy producer, and Jim Warren, a cattle auction market owner. Both are winners of the Beef Checkoff-funded National Beef Quality Assurance Award, and both recognize the need for the entire industry to focus on beef quality.
We've tried to put our best foot forward and try to see that the product that we send out of this country is the most wholesome, safest, best product that anybody could have anywhere. And to be complimented for that effort is an amazing experience.
It's all important, and I think there's some really good protocols laid out in the Beef Quality Assurance Program that will help producers to do the best job that they can do.
Producers across the nation have embraced the BQA program because they're committed to producing the world's best beef. To find out how you can compete for the BQA National Awards, visit the website bqa.org.
Hi there, I'm Joey.
And I'm Rory, and welcome to our farm outside Nashville, Tennessee. When we go to work, whether it's on tour or here at home, we wear the West.
That's right, where it's that perfect snap shirt or that perfect pair of boots. When you wear Roper, you wear the West.
Learn more about us, Joey and Rory, and about Roper Western Wear at eroper.com.
Telling the truth and being real, feeding my family a home-cooked meal. That's important to me. That's important to me. And planting the garden and watching it grow.
Trade shows provide a broad spectrum of products for attendees, but one particular booth at the Texas and Southwestern Cattle Raisers Association trade show was aimed at the younger crowd. Reporter Matt Fleck tells us how a toy maker has captured the attention of kids of all ages.
12 years ago, Jerry Sims searched the stores to find a toy livestock shoot for his kids. When he came up empty-handed, he decided to make one himself.
My two little boys, they were 2 and 3 years old. They wanted a Blue Doctrine chute, and I built the chute, a tub, and the snake, and then every year for Christmas or birthday they needed more things, so we just kept building toys, and then the neighbors wanted something, and it's just kind of grown from there.
That's when Jerry started his own business called The Happy Toy Maker, located where else but Happy, Texas.
I build metal toys, personalized toys for kids. So it's all made out of 3/8 rods and 16 gauge metal. It's all welded together. We have a computerized plasma torch that we put their kids' names, brands, and things in. I like kids, so it's neat to watch them play.
No matter what kind of ranch toy you're looking for, chances are Jerry makes it.
I have a pickup and trailer, and the pickup picks up a wooden round bale. It's got a cake box on it, grill guard, and it's got a little 16-inch half-top single axle trailer. I make a feedlot. I make a semi-truck with a cattle trailer. I've got 2 sizes of rodeo arenas. a processing chute, a set of wheel corrals, and we're fixing to start making the cattle that fit this size.
Not only are the toys indestructible, but they're also handcrafted and made to teach kids what it's like to work with real-life equipment.
They'll never tear them up, and they work like the real things. The overhead cake bins, you know, everything, the mechanisms, it just shows a kid what it's gonna be like when they get older. They can pinch their fingers like they will in real life. Everything, I try to make it work like it is for the big people, so that it's a learning tool for them, so that when they do get older, they'll know how to shut a gate, open a gate, work a chute, you know, how things drive.
In addition to making cattle that kids can brand themselves, Jerry has a few other new toys coming down the pipeline.
We've added some stuff to our semis. We'll be able to sell an attachment that goes on the back of them for like a feed mixer, manure spreader, water truck, you know. They'll all attach right to the frame of the truck, so they can kind of add to their trucks that they've already bought.
For now, the happy toy maker, well, he couldn't be happier.
I like to sell things for people that they'll always have, you know, that just doesn't tear up. Everybody said, well, those will be passed down from generation to generation.
Reporting from the TSCRA trade show in Fort Worth, Texas, I'm Matt Fleck for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
When it comes to issues facing cattlemen in our nation's capital, you'll be pleased to know that many of the staff of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association grew up on farms and ranches across our country. One of those staffers is Christina Butts. Let's learn more about this talented member of NCBA's team.
I'm originally from a small town in south of Texas, south of Houston, known as Pearland, Texas. And it was small when my family first moved there. My great-grandfather was one of the first families to settle in Pearland. And that's kind of how we got started in the beef business, was through the dairy business first. And I'm the third generation of my family to graduate from Pearland High School. I received my first show steer when I was 8 years old as a gift from my grandfather. It was a registered Angus steer. It was the meanest steer that I ever had in my 12 years of showing. But I think that I cried the most whenever I had to sell him, even though he was so mean to me. Growing up in the beef industry, I've always had a strong passion for the beef industry, and that started at a very young age with my family. And I was very fortunate to participate in a lot of programs through 4-H and FFA, but probably the most remarkable program that I participated in was the Beef Ambassador program that was funded and sponsored by the American National Cattlemen's Association. And I was lucky enough to be the Texas Beef Ambassador way back in 1996. And that year I placed second at the national competition. And how the program was structured then, the winner was the one who traveled. But she happened to be a freshman in college, so she couldn't travel. So I had the opportunity to travel in her absence. And I spent most of my senior year outside of the classroom, traveling, representing the beef industry with Texas Cattlemen's, going all over the U.S. from New York to Washington State to Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, talking to education classrooms, talking to school leaders, talking to anybody that would really kind of listen to us talk about the beef industry. And after I went to school, I decided I wanted to go to school at Texas Tech University and have 2 degrees in agricultural communications with a minor in animal science, and then a master's in animal and food sciences with a focus on food safety. The best part about my job is talking to our producers, being able to pick up the phone, to call them, obviously reading the policies that they put forward, but then calling them to say, this is happening, this is what the policy says, do you have a real life experience that I can share here in DC? And I think government involvement, with it changing so much, probably not in a favorable light, especially to cattle producers, has gotten more in agriculture, more engaged in talking about what we do. I just think that if someone hasn't taken the opportunity to get engaged in the federal policies of what's happening here in Washington, D.C., because the simple fact is that everything that Congress is discussing has a direct impact on your life, whether you realize it or not at this point, on the taxes that you're able to pay, on your choices for health care, on what the environmental situation looks like, on food safety, on how we raise our animals. So if you've not been engaged because you think D.C. is so far away and it isn't going to impact you, you couldn't be more wrong. And this is an opportunity in a time when the only industry that continues to grow is the federal government. They continue to add jobs, and there continue to be more regulations coming out every single month from this administration. And so I think if you haven't had the opportunity to get engaged, go to NCBA's website, beefusa.org, sign up for CapWiz alerts that we send out that allow members and anybody interested, even if you're not an NCBA member, but you're just curious about what's going on that impacts the beef industry, sign up and we'll be happy to keep you in the loop about what's going on and how you can engage here in DC.
Support the work of Christina and her colleagues at the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. Join us today. It's easy to do. Just give us a call at 1-866-USA-BEEF or visit us at beefusa.org. We'll be right back.
They're out there, lurking on your pasture, just waiting to infect your cattle as they graze. Cattle worms cost you money, but a Safeguard strategic deworming program allows you to deworm your cattle and lower worm burdens on your pasture, resulting in improved pregnancy rates and heavier calf weights. Plus, there's a Safeguard form for every operation. So start killing parasites where they lurk. Talk to your animal health provider today about a Safeguard strategic dewormer program. Safeguard. Think strategically. Act decisively.
I am an NCBA member.
I am an NCBA member.
NCBA is my eyes and ears, and most importantly, my voice, because I can't be on Capitol Hill all the time. But my membership through NCBA has people that are there that know what my concerns are and can inform me when those issues come up that are affecting my day-to-day operations and can take actions on those appropriately.
I'm an NCBA member.
I'm an NCBA member because I believe that this organization is determined to preserve the way of life that those of us growing up in the cattle industry have grown to love.
I am an NCBA member.
I am an NCBA member.
I am an NCBA member.
Join me today.
Well, I think a rancher has to be a steward of the land. There's nobody else that can take care of the land better than a rancher. When we switched over to the Purina products, it was a step in the right direction.
The difference we see in the cattle is the consistency of their nutrition.
The cattle hold their condition a lot better throughout the whole year.
It does make a difference that we can see, day in and day out.
Take the 60-day challenge and save up to $55 on Purina feed. Sign up at purinadifference.com.
Hi there, I'm Dr. Dan Thompson from Doc Talk. Each week on Doc Talk, we'll be discussing important issues such as livestock management and welfare, important and new agricultural research, and how to keep our food supply safe. My guests will include nationally and internationally known veterinarians and animal scientists. So if you farm, ranch, or eat, you'll find something of interest in every single episode. Watch Doc Talk every Monday on RFD TV at 4:30 p.m. or online at doctalktv.com.
Welcome back. Since its start more than 40 years ago, the Texas Cattle Feeders Association has become one of the most influential organizations in American agriculture. The association is proud of the lead it takes when it comes to political and industry issues, and over the years, it's helped the Lone Star State become the nation's leader in cattle feeding. Reporter Dave Russell visits one of the state's veteran operations, Hansford County Feeders.
As far as Beau Kazar is concerned, Texas has the nation's best climate when it comes to feeding cattle. Kazar is feed yard manager at Hansford County Feeders in Spearman. He was raised on a local ranch, and as soon as he was big enough to get on a horse, he was trained by his father to become a cowboy.
When I was about 16 years old, I went to a feed yard for the first time. And I remember pulling on that feed yard, and they had cattle in the pens, and I'd been used to yearling cattle or calves all my life, and that was the first fat cattle that I saw, and I couldn't believe how big they could get. I worked summers there in between high school and in between college, and then after a couple of years of college, I came back and kind of started in the feed yards. I went to work full-time for Cargill in 1974, and I was with them for 26 years. Left there and for a couple of years on my own, and then decided to come back to the feed yards, and I've been here ever since 2003.
Hansford's mission is to provide cattle with the best possible facility during their finishing phase, using humane handling practices and minimizing stress on the animals.
We're an independent feed yard, and we get up every morning coming to provide quality care to our cattle. We do that because we like cattle, we enjoy working with cattle, and to make a profit. Certainly we do that. Our people that work with me here, the 38 other employees, I believe that every one of them does the same thing. I think they come to work wanting to do a good job, understanding how to do that, and they go about it throughout the day. We always get curves thrown at us, but these guys have become pretty good curveball hitters, and I'm very proud of the folks that I work with.
The facility's mill starts at 6 every morning, and the cattle are fed 3 times daily. But Bo says their operation is nonstop.
We receive cattle 24/7. We'll get cattle in at night. We'll get cattle in all during the day. We have not security, not people that are here during the night to receive cattle, to read the bunks, to make sure that there's no problems that occur in that time that jeopardizes the cattle or the operation. So we're going 24 hours a day and taking care of it.
Kazar says his business lends itself naturally to conservation, land management, and environmental protection, particularly the handling of wastewater.
I mean, it's just a natural step to want to take care of the land and to manage our resources. So when we think in terms of how much water we're pumping, you know, we're not going to be wasteful of that. We're going to try to use it in the best possible manner.
Bo is serving as chair of the Texas Cattle Feeders this year, a position he says he never imagined for himself. But he's honored by the role the association has played over the years in helping to keep the industry viable.
The restrictions that we've avoided by bringing science to the table and helping people understand that their perceptions were not true, and that some regulations that they thought to impose that they were not necessary. But that staff can't do it all by themselves. It takes volunteers to the association, becoming involved in that association, and even if you're not in the association, as an individual, as a citizen of this country, we need to be involved in what's going on.
Like a lot of people, Kazar is concerned by the current diminished cow herd numbers. In the past, he says, people would be encouraged to build up those herds.
They're having to make tough decisions, and probably not, as far as I'm concerned, not making the right decision at this point, because I need them to be holding those heifers. I need them to be expanding the cow herd and get us going. And today we believe that we're short of numbers. I think our price indicates that our product is in short supply, and if we start today, we're 3 to 4 years from effectively influencing those available feeder numbers.
He also believes it's time to end corn subsidies for ethanol.
A big part of what we do here is buy and sell corn through these cattle to make our beef. Our corn prices have really gotten elevated. We're in competition with the ethanol companies, and we have the ethanol subsidies. And and they probably had a place in the beginnings of those companies, but they're mature businesses now, and they no longer need that subsidy to compete. And it puts us, when we're out heads to heads with the ethanol people bidding on corn, their subsidies allows them an unfair advantage in calculating the profitability of that input into their cost structure.
Given all the challenges, Kazar still sees a bright future for U.S. beef as international markets expand and economies improve.
Back in the 80s, we talked about our industry being a mature industry, and the way that was explained to me was that we're just going to be static. There's not going to be much growth, and so we have to learn to function within those parameters. I don't buy that. I truly think that we'll see an expanding demand and opportunities if we do it right. You know, our marketplace is the world, and we can be the preferred supplier.
Reporting from Hansford County Feeders in Spearman, Texas, I'm Dave Russell for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
To join Bo Kazar as a member of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, give us a call at 1-866-USA-BEEF. A representative is standing by right now to take your call. You can also become a member by visiting us online at beefusa.org. And we'll be right back.
Quality matters to me because I'm responsible for managing the natural resources under my care, providing clean water and healthy feed, and creating an environment that fosters new life. I care for mother cows and newborn calves, nurturing them through the beginning of the life cycle. The entire beef industry is relying on me to provide a quality product they can work with. This is the beginning of the American beef industry. I'm proud of what we'll do here today.
Assuring beef quality begins with dedicated people such as Phoebe Bittler, a dairy producer, and Jim Warren, a cattle auction market owner. Both are winners of the Beef Checkoff-funded National Beef Quality Assurance Award, and both recognize the need for the entire industry to focus on beef quality.
We've tried to put our best foot forward and try to see that the product that we send out of this country is the most wholesome, safest, best product that anybody could have anywhere. And to be complimented for that effort is an amazing experience.
It's all important, and I think there's some really good protocols laid out in the Beef Quality Assurance Program that will help producers to do the best job that they can do.
Producers across the nation have embraced the BQA program because they're committed to producing the world's best beef. To find out how you can compete for the BQA National Awards, visit the website bqa.org.
To stay up to date on beef industry news and the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, check out beefusa.org. You'll find news on both the Federation of State Beef Councils and the work of NCBA on Capitol Hill. Plus, link to NCBA programs like the blog, Beltway Beef, updates on the Cattle Industry Convention and NCBA Trade Show, and the latest from NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman. Connect today at beefusa.org.
I'm an NCBA member.
I am an NCBA member because NCBA is on Capitol Hill taking care of our needs while we are out in the fields taking care of our animals and our land.
I am an NCBA member.
I am an NCBA member because as a fifth-generation cattle producer, the NCBA provides a unified voice for all the cattle industry.
You should be an NCBA member for what the Washington staff does day in, day out on Capitol Hill, making sure that your voice is heard by members of Congress and that we maintain your livelihood and our ability to produce food for this country and for the world.
I am an NCBA member.
Join me today.
Seasons change, but year in, year out, year round, it's Crystalix season. With specific supplements for weaning stress and fall. protein for pre-calving in winter, calving in spring, and minerals and fly control in summer. For low-cost per-head per-day supplements, every season is Crystal-X season.
We know who made that hitch. We know who cut the steel, who milled the ball, and who welded the seams. We know who tested, measured, and checked. We even know who thought the whole thing up. We're B&W, and we know your hitch. Because we don't make them halfway around the world. We make them all right here. B&W. Trusted.
Most people just don't get it, said Ron. He was complaining about the urban politicians who continue to whittle away at funding for county fairs and the Ag Extension Service. It's all about the kids learning real life. Well, he's right, but thank goodness there's still some politicians and corporations and influential associations that do get it. As farmers and livestock raisers continue to decline in numbers, it's all the more critical that parents, county agents, ag teachers, 4-H leaders, scientists, and school board members instill the passion for agriculture in the next generations. Does America want to become a net importer of food in 25 years? Farm kids start learning the land and the livestock when they're old enough to carry a bucket. When they help with the daily chores, they're practicing. It's like taking piano lessons or tennis lessons, except what farm kids learn has a much more profound objective: feeding us all. These kids, our kids, who are fitting steers and doing chores and picking apples, showing hogs, driving grain trucks, irrigating, raising baby calves, stacking hay, and learning to read the sky. They're assimilating the mountain of knowledge that it takes to make dirt and rain into food. Our culture expends a great deal of effort to make future NBA stars, or astronauts, or environmental lawyers, doctors, and political science majors. But for every 100 rock stars, Rhodes Scholars, and Heisman Trophy winners, we better make sure we spend enough to train at least 2 future farmers so the rest of them can eat. That's the essence of the county fair. Beneath all the fun, the auctions, and the show ribbons, the serious business of learning how to make a living off the land continues like an underground river. The list of essential professions is a short one. That's the reality of real life. Farm kids hold our future in their hands. They're training to feed the world. And the fair board members and the county agents get it. And I do too. This is Baxter Black from out there.
At Cabela's Corporate Outfitters, our business is outfitting your business with everything from customized clothing and equipment to great incentives like gift cards and hunting or fishing trips. We carry more than 150,000 products, all backed by Cabela's world-famous commitment to quality and service, along with volume-based pricing for any size business or budget. You trust Cabela's with your outdoor experiences, so rely on Cabela's Corporate Outfitters to build your brand. Visit us today at Cabela's.com/B2B.
Head to Denver, Colorado and join cattlemen from across the country for the 2012 Cattle Industry Summer Conference. This is your chance to meet with industry leadership and fellow cattlemen on current trends and initiatives while also making valuable contacts. Registered attendees will also have access to hot topics at the Issues Forums. Join us for the 2012 Cattle Industry Summer Conference, July 25th to the 28th in Denver, Colorado. Visit beefusa.org for more information.
Ever wonder where the beef checkoff dollar goes and what it buys? The Federation of State Beef Councils is made up of the 45 qualified state beef councils that collect the $1 per head beef checkoff. Each council keeps control of 50 cents and sends 50 cents to the Cattlemen's Beef Board for use in national beef checkoff programs. Many states also choose to send a portion of their share to the Federation to expand national and international efforts. As a division of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, the Federation of State Beef Councils works to support an effective state and national partnership, helping to increase beef demand through research, promotion, and education. Because producers themselves direct these programs, your beef checkoff dollars are in good hands. Learn more about the Federation of State Beef Councils by visiting beefusa.org.
Welcome back. This week, we're taking a look at some photos taken from viewers around the country. That's in this week's Legacy Photos. We'd love to see your pictures from around the country. Log on to cattlemen@cattlemen.org to send us yours. Well, that does it for this week's edition of NCBA's Cattlemen to Cattlemen. We'll see you right back here next week on RFD TV.